So, what's up, everybody? What the deal? I know it's been quite a while. The hair's still growing out. I just took the hat off. I had my hat on overnight, so I just went ahead and I took it off and just let the hair breathe and let it do what it gotta do. No matter what style it's in, or I can go to the bathroom, fluff it out, and give it that Super Saiyan look. Even though I don't got the Super Saiyan energy in me like that, totally yet. But anyway, how y'all doing out there? Hope all is well, indeed. And I pray that everything continue to work out in your best favor. Uh, if you read the scripture to make your day go by and your night as well, go ahead and continue to do so fervently. You know what I'm saying? Keep it real, stay authentic, just like how I keep it. It's just a matter of talking on things every day. In addition on speaking on things, you can't have one without the other. So when we speak on things, we ought to be reminded of the things that is profoundly true, irrefutably true, and stay grounded in our faith. But it gets hard. So I get what the scriptures do say from here and there, where it talks about, the faith and patience of the saints shall be worn out. You know what I mean? Why is that true? See, things are circumstantial, right? The book is also contextual as much as it is universal. So we got to know what to apply scripture, not just apply it in the use of trying to obtain something or receive some kind of monetary gift or something like that. Or no. It has to be used contextually, circumstantially. Because look, the reason why that scripture is that what I just said about the faith and patience shall be worn out is because you got so many people who are docile. You got many people who are ignorant. You got many people who are illiterate. You got many people who are slaves to the money. And for the love of money is the what? Is the root of all evil. So you got people on that dark side who are not really ready to make these sacrifices and take the righteous walk, to go through that narrow gate that leadeth onto life. They go through that broad gate. But yet they got so much to say and want to be biased and judgmental of those who's taking the walk. And that's how complex this world is. And yet it's real crazy because they don't have the sound right reason and they don't have proper discernment to look upon someone or even hear the voice and be like, yo, that's the voice of that's God speaking through that brother. That's God speaking through that sister. See, that's how degenerated we have become, where we look at people on the outside. We're so focused on the flesh that not many have the sight to see internally. In other words, to see the spirit of a person, much less the soul. And this is why I get this is why it's crazy too, because for black people to have the most soul music, soul food, soul this, soul that. Yeah, we sold the fuck out. Huh? And never forget what I said or what I have said in the past, and I will continue to say it from time to time, that I don't exclude myself from this picture. It's just that some of us are doing better than others in regards of spirituality. And people don't understand how this thing works as to where you when you're dealing with that and you going to go up against the dark forces. Listen, you can't be heavily spiritual and then you want to be rich with money. Primarily, how I see it, you got to be rich with the people. If you get what I'm saying, be rich in people. But even that's hard to do. Why is that hard to do? Because so many people is so inculcated with devilish ways. And when I say devilish ways, or anything that regards to devilish ways, Satan, demonic, has to do with the inefficiency of culture, heritage, and things that we ought to have, no matter where you're from on this earth. Spanish people know how to speak grammatically correct. People know how to speak grammatically correct. Indian people, everybody have their own dialect. Now reverting back to who we are as African men and women from our African diasporic family. How many of us that was brought over into the so-called Western world? How many of us have reclaimed our mother tongue dialect? How many? When y'all join these Greek fraternities and sororities, do they offer a course or do they enlighten you or empower you to take a course to learn your language? Because every group, every entity have contingency plans. So you join these sororities and these fraternities and sororities. You even went into the armed forces to give your life and make sacrifices for what you got today. This is what the hell it is on a collective level. Is it registering? So you learn a couple Greek alphabets and words. And that's just inherently so, because whenever you look into any dictionary and you want to look up any English word, what are the two origins that's always associated with English words? Latin and Greek. Which tells you what? That English language has been diluted. Far too many transcriptions, far too many uh, translations. And I can only imagine some other associations with the English language when it comes from being translated from other language. Editing, redactions, etc., etc. Hey man, yo, boy, I tell you, there's a look, man. I really don't know what are people's expectations, but I think because of how we've been programmed through TV, music, and other media, uh, and other art forms, which is very impressionable, that we have been not only reduced down to little cadets and little robots, but also we have become so engulfed in this systematic construct that we lost our way. And you know what's funny about what I said just a second ago about, us African descendants that came over from into the Western land? Isn't it funny? When you learn karma, dharma, and universal law and order, we talk about the Western world, but yet we came from the Western part of Africa, so it makes sense. Does it register? Does it make sense? We came over from the Western side of Africa to what's known today as the so-called Western world. See the correlation?
She wants to pay like $70. Pero convéncela, maybe you could, la puedes convencer. Yeah, the one in the middle, the one in the middle.
Homeboy could be a good opera singer, man. He got a heavy voice there. He could shake the whole room, man. But yeah, y'all. You feel me? On a serious note, man, I say, hey, to be being made privy to so much truth, it's heavy. It's a heavy load to bear. Heavy. And I think one of the most difficult parts about it is especially when you're coming out of the abyss. Hence the saying, there's light at the end of the tunnel. When you're coming out of the abyss and you're receiving, you're standing within the light, and you're now a light bearer. Is that for my African people in particular, and we just can't, I'm not putting this in the sense of us being victimized, but we do have to account for the fact that we are victims of a conceptual idea or decree of what is known to be arrested development, where our mind has been shackled by the manacles of this world, the systematic construct, how we've been, hey man, we've been done in, man. Now, I said in the past that nothing happened without reason. There's cause and effect, there's karma dharma. I've also said what or who gave the European people, the so-called white people, so much power over the prominent. I said some serious things in my poems, but it seems that I have gotten no cooperation. I haven't gotten no feedback. I haven't gotten no kind of particular commentary to even feed my soul and possibly get with someone to do more works. And I think that comes from a place of jealousy and envy of others. And that's a sad sight, because we still power tripping and ego tripping out here as men. And this is exactly why we can't get nothing done. This is exactly why I give the white man power. I mean, I give him respect, because he know how to control, not even control, but he exercises power in whatever way he feel that he can, and he continue to do what he do upon the earth. I'm not justifying any wickedness, but it's something I've come to understand and be like, wow, because America surely is guilty of much bloodshed and crime. And then when I say America, I'm also talking about those of the European Union. So everybody have their judgment. And I'm not putting this in the sense of trying to wish bad on anybody. It was not about that. I think that's what we have a lot too. A lot of people are heinous. A lot of people are vindictive. A lot of people, they may wish death on others or bad on others, when it's funny that we revere this book called the Bible and the Quran and this and that, where it says judge not, because we know who the real judge is. But yet this is what we got going. See, I tell you, a lot of us is really not standing up in truth. We refuse to speak up, and trust me, I know, because I felt it in my soul when I was waking up, when I had my dealings with Uber and Lyft, and a lot of, especially from like I said before, man, for those who've been following me, man, people from the LGBT community, they gave me the most heat, and so did my people in particular, because I started waking up, and I started shedding. I started shedding skin. Fear don't live here no more, man. But I think when I say that, people be like, "Yo, so go ahead and get it on," as if it's inevitable to draw blood, to get into fight and be violent, belligerent.
Okay, all right. That's awesome.
Look, man. Like I said, I know people are scared to talk up because they scared they're gonna lose their job. And so now what happens? What happens with that? You think God don't know what you're doing and what we're thinking? And so now you're gonna become, like the words of Dick Gregory, the great, wonderful Baba Dick Gregory. You're gonna let this place and this system reduce you down to what the Holy Creator has put in you for the love of money. Then you deserve to be destroyed. And it's funny, you put in all this work to go home to your family, to go home to your so-called brothers or your men of your circle. And for what? What kind of unity is established amongst us? Because if it was really effective, we would have been reshaping this whole world. We would have been reforming our culture. We would have been enhancing our heritage as to where these younger generation of kids will not be acting the way that they are, the way that they speak, their mannerisms. They out there smoking and drinking right soon as they get into high school, maybe even junior high school, by the numbers. So the ghetto where we reside is supposed to be the real El Dorado, but look how we living. Look how we got them living. So we lost control, and with that we lost respect. Can't even keep our young ones in order. But yet here you go again. Y'all want to go read the book. Y'all want to go to a goddamn church and talk about train up your child in the way that they should grow. If that was the motherfucking case for years upon years, decades, centuries has passed since that book been out, since the 16 goddamn hundreds. Train up your child in the way that they should grow. So what did that goes to show? Huh? As I said in the past, you got the street life versus the house life. The house life is where mommy and daddy teach the kids don't do this, don't do that. Disciplinary actions are enforced by the best way they know how. They trying to parents trying their best to maintain the integrities of the household so they can continue to grow and be successful. But then you got that street life. You got that street life. And so now when you got all the things that's going on out there in the street, the perversions, the debauchery, the crime, the violence, the wickedness. What happened now is when that street light. Yeah, I got cut off there, so I had to go into the phone and do some, deleting of some videos, old videos that I had on there and whatnot. So, where did I leave off? I was talking about, the street life and permeating the house life. And so now, everything that the parents has fought for, took risk for, sacrifice for, and are going to be dying for, the integrities of their works and their sacrifices will fall susceptible back into a system that's continuing to degenerate us and degrade us as human beings. So, what do we have from there? And I don't really have that much more to say. I'm gonna go ahead and close right here. You know what I mean? If I can give an inspiring word or so, inspiring word, as we already have much to aspire to, so we have to inspire to us aspire, right? I love words, man. Etymology is a beautiful thing. However, nevertheless, I would have to say that stand in truth, confide in someone. This is why the family unit is so important. Because when you can confide in one another, which is a beautiful thing, because nothing should leave out that house, which is a practice that's already being utilized, where you have different religious houses. They don't let certain things out, right? Because knowledge is power, right? So, in our own biological family unit, we should be able to confide in one another and to confess and remain fervent in prayer, which can bring about healing and a whole bunch of wonderful, phenomenal things. So, I would say stand in truth, man. Confide in one another within the family primarily, and go ahead and build. Stand firm in faith. You know, and trust me, many things will begin to change. I think a lot of us are scared to speak up about how we're being treated or mistreated rather, and that's going to continue to be the disease because you will never be at ease knowing that you feel so you've been put in a position where you can't even speak because you fear to lose your job. You fear to lose your job when we out here losing lives over what? So think about that. Peace, love, and light.